Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch the flag. Watch the flag. Watch the flag.
Mariota on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
53 is the mic.
On second down, Mariota again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On third down, Mariota. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is taken at the 15. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
You might be getting tired of seeing me. Hey, Alpha!
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He's got the tight end, Sternberger. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Brings up second and 3 at the 46-yard line.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's second and 3.
Bravo! And 96 is coming. We got Mike 96. Come on. Mike 96. Mike 96. And it's getting them holes. Now.
Second and 3.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
And Incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, they certainly didn't waste any time throwing some deep passes here. But the defense, it wasn't unexpected. They told their secondary, be ready. You're going to be tested all night by this team.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Taken from just outside the 30. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. They're going to look to throw. He sets to fire deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Agnew.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
53's the mic. 53.
Following the interception here, Mariota. And an alley to run. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
You ain't doing nothing today.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mariota. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Mariota. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Walsh adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run with McCaffrey. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2nd quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Mariota. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Mariota to throw it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
53,
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal, because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say, if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Check 3, check 3. Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch. Big rip, big rip.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Hey, 96 is coming. We got Mike 96. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Agnew. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
One. Coming after you. Check. Orbit. Check.
Now Mariota. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Hawkinson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
To throw Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark able to drop in that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have a bit of nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Mariota now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mariota. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 yards there, first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at at the half. A reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On second and goal, Mariota. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's third and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Christian McCaffrey, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Touchdown, Packers! Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 4th touchdown on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Right here, right here.
Now Mariota being chased out left. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing, Mariota. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
We ain't beginning to clear you up. Don't get nervous. Shoot! Watch the shoot! General West!
Now Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Now on 2nd and 13, Mariota throwing deep for Galladay. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Final play of the half here, Mariota. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Team 6. Mike 57. And I'm coming after you. You draw quarters. Let's go. Defense.
Now back to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
This is McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Christian McCaffrey with his second TD of the game, his sixth on the year. And the Lions are once again going to retake the lead. Prater for the extra point, and it's now 17-14. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Back. Topper. Ready?
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Hey.
2nd and 9 now. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow.
Here we go.
It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Mike 57. Blue down. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. You remember me? Let's go, baby. Big rip.
Now Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Hey, Delta. 44 Mike. Check. How you getting ahead?
Here's 2nd and 8. Escaping, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. They'll drop the throw. Steps away to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
On now, it's Blair Walsh as he'll try the field goal here. From the left hash, this from 37. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that will tie things at 17-all. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Mariota now. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
That's good for the Lions. First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
51. 1, 33. Not today, you are. Not today.
On the ground, McCaffrey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
53. Mike, 53.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Ready, set. 44's Mike. Check, check. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Hey, exit. Mike's going forward. Yeah, that's what I do. 44's the Mike. 44's the Mike. Focus, defense, focus. 44. 5. 44. There it comes, there it comes. Now.
2nd and 13. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is taken at about the 14. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Come on now, let's go.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Back now at Ford Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Throwing is Mariota. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Mariota now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53.
Here's Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dean Lowry in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
53, Mike. It's going to be a long day.
Over the middle, it's Holmes. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 1st down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield. McCaffrey following the penalty. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The 1st-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 14.
I got you. 53's the Mike. 53. Check 53. Swamp. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike.
3rd and long here for Mariota. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 51 yards.
First down, Green Bay.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They run with Howard. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Lions' 18-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2nd and 3. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3.
Don't be scared. Ready?
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mariota. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebound. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face, and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Mariota flush to his right. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards to pick up there. Mariota now from the 50.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Mariota to throw it. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Mariota. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though, a few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the fourth quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for the Packers, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get a few extra